Good morning. It's day 20 and I did not go to the gym this morning because I went to bed late because I had to work on getting my vlog up and just didn't get enough sleep. So when the alarm went off, I was like, oh no, my body was like, no. So I do have to do a 2-mile walk run today to make up for that. I did get over halfway in the Strawberry Shortcake Murder, which is good because I have 2 days left technically for this shelf. I have today and tomorrow, and I still want to work on Party Her World and Galileo's Daughter, so I need to get this done so that I can work on those, because I did give up time to be able to do another book from this shelf, but I don't feel all that bad. So what do I got going on today? I want to hit up this bookstore that I like to drop books off at so that, maybe they sell. Well, and I like to look at the books there too. I'm doing laundry because we got our wash machine checked and everything like that, and it's old, and he said that it's got some issues, but it's not bad enough that we need to get a new washer dryer, because we have this, like, the stackable kind. We don't need to get a new one yet. So he's like, basically just use it till it dies. It's just a pain in the butt that things just don't last. They don't last forever. Okay, so I'm currently working on editing my day 19 vlog, and we're back to shorter vlogs again because I'm not combining multiple days, so that's kind of nice. And I want to make sure I get this done early in the day, so it's not like the last couple of days. Ooh, there's an eagle up in the tree. Oh, here, let me show you. Now that I got my camera fixed, my phone fixed, hold on. There's our little eagle friend. Come on, you were showing your head a little second ago. There it goes, there it goes. Pop it all the way up. Come on, dude. Let's see your head. Well, at least my camera's... There he is. Look, he's like, he heard me. Hi, how's it going? Just cleaning the lice off me. Out of my wings. So, I'm not ready. I spent some time reading Strawberry Shortcake Murder this morning, and we're getting further along. I'm close to the 2/3 mark. And I basically told you kind of how I feel about this book and this series. It's really a vibe. The books aren't going to be that surprising, and I think it's more just about something fun to read and getting the vibes from these characters. We have this sister relationship in this particular one that's developing, Hannah and her sister. They have always had a bit of a contentious relationship in the past, so this one's really focused on the development of their relationship, which is kind of nice to see. I'm making progress, so I feel good about that. I want to get it done today if I can, but we'll see. I'm making sure that I get this vlog done and posted early so that I can go to bed early, so that I don't miss the gym again. I am gonna go for a walk run. So I'm gonna do 2 miles today. I'm gonna take Cece, it'll be nice, she'll love it. And then I'm dog sitting tonight because my mom's on a trip. My aunt and my uncle are also going on that trip, so they want me to watch their dog for the evenings. So I'm gonna be doing that. I'll have little Dot with me. So the importance of being earnest, I'm listening to when I do like household stuff, like doing laundry or doing things around the house. I have been enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun, but I wanna give it my attention because it's such a short play, and really enjoying that. It's so funny. Like, the humor's pretty good, and there's definitely a lot of puns within the story as well, which is fun because I do like a good pun. It's all this social commentary on relationships and marriage. I am enjoying the humor quite a bit. Oscar Wilde had a pretty good sense of humor, and so it's fun to see that in this, more so than in like A Picture of Dorian Gray. That was a little more serious. This is a lot more fun and silly. So once I feel like I've made enough progress on editing this vlog for tomorrow, I'm gonna go and do some laundry because I need to fold up some laundry and put it away, and then I'm gonna go to the bookstore, drop off a couple of books. I'll show you what they are. We'll do like a mini unhaul. So I am unhauling It Happened One Summer because I enjoyed this. It was fun, but I don't see myself reading again, and it wasn't great. I didn't love this book, that's for sure. And if you want to know more about my thoughts on this one, you can watch my first week of 1 Week, One Shelf. And then I'm also finally coming to terms with my reality. And my reality is that I will probably never actually read Ulysses by James Joyce. And there's no reason that I should force myself to read this. It's not a requirement. No books are ever a requirement. You should never have to read any books. But there's a part of me that's like, well, I should at least try James Joyce's Ulysses because of all the things I've heard of it. Every time I think about this book, I feel dread. And anytime it comes up on anything, I'm like, oh no, that's not gonna happen. So I think it's time for this to find a new home. Someone who is ready to follow their literary journey more. I am just going to pass it on. And I also have a companion novel to go with this book because I figured, well, if I'm going to read this, I might as well read from someone who can give me a little bit of insight into what a lot of this stuff means, because I have read a little bit of this here and there, and it does feel very stream of consciousness, but also like a little nonsensical at times, and I know that there is intention behind that, but at the moment I don't have the capacity, and I'm not going to keep this on my shelf and this on my shelf when I just don't want to read them. So I'm going to give them up. I'm giving them up. So I'm going to take these to Henderson's and see if they'll buy them from me, and if not, then I'll keep them so that I can give them to another bookseller that is not quite as picky. I went to sell books and something happened. Okay, so rapid fire book haul, because I just wanted to show you what I got and put it to rest, because yes, I did buy more books. They didn't take my It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey, and this store doesn't do a lot of romance. I think that I could probably sell this to Village Books because it's in really good shape. I could definitely give it to this other used bookstore that I like to go to sometimes. As far as what I bought and why, I did pick up The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick because a number of you have told me that I should read this one. Last year for Her Kid, there was a 500+ page book in one day that I didn't end up doing, and this was one of the ones that was recommended for that. However, I also would like to read this. I'm very intrigued, and it was $3. Like, they were trying to get rid of it. This is actually the second book in the Sergeant Akal Singh mystery series by Nalima Rao, and I really liked the first one, and I really did want to read the next one. This book is it's a nice book, and I would like to get the first one because I did really like it, and so I was excited that they had this one, and it was just such a nice book. I was like, I'm gonna get it. And then I have actually read this book before, but it was $3, and I loved it, and I want to reread it. It's one of these non-fictions I would love to reread, and I wanted Jordan to read it, so I picked it up because I want a copy for my own library, and I figure this is one that I could lend to her to read. So a big fan of this if you haven't read Being Mortal. I just think it's a good way to look at death and dying, and it was only $3, and it's a really nice copy. Like, it's a really good copy for $3, so I decided that I was gonna pick that one up. And then I picked up The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley because you have all told me, so many of you have told me I need to read this. And of course, November is Native American Heritage Month, and I do have a prompt for that for HRCYED, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pick up Firekeeper's Daughter, I'm gonna read it, and I'm very, very excited about this one. Late night editing Amy here. Really late night. I think I filmed this, but I, for some reason, don't have the clip of it. I was going to say that the two books that I sold, the Ulysses and the Companion, they were willing to give me $8 store credit for that one. They would have given me like $4 of actual cash, but I was like, store credit. And I already had store credit on account. So I ended up not paying anything for these books. So ultimately, I just kind of exchanged books. There was no spending of money this day. Okay, I finished my 2 miles, and my second mile was actually a little faster. I'm definitely not going fast, but I'm trying to build up speed a little bit, but then also stamina and longevity so that I can make it 6.2 miles at a faster pace than like a slow walk. So I did definitely run off and on throughout, like a minute here, a minute there, a minute here, 30 seconds, like I was trying to do intervals and stuff like that, and I feel really good. I feel hot and sweaty. Picking up Dot. Where is she? That's not Dot. There she is. Hey, Dot. it's day 21 and I'm going to the gym twice today. That's what I did first thing this morning, and then I ended up taking like an hour-long nap, and now I'm going to do body pump with my cousin Shauna because she is going to work late today, and she was like, hey, would you body pump with me? So my body loves it. My body loves it. I keep reminding myself it's good for my body loves it. I'm almost finished with Strawberry Shortcake Murder, and that's basically what I've been doing all morning, aside from like having breakfast and stuff. I have been trying to get that book done, and I'm like a few pages away, but I gotta go to body pump. So it wasn't body pump after all, and the manager of the gym decided she wanted to kill us. And I blame you. It's all your fault.
I blame you.
So she had us do circuits, 4 sets. I think she said it was 440 reps or something. I don't know, something like that. But if you want to do this yourself with barbells, and I did 5 pounds on each end of the barbell, 20 barbell squats, 10 presses. So you put the bar overhead and you press. And then 15 push-ups. We definitely modified ours by doing like knees, and then we also had the stair stepper bench there, so we kind of used that. 15 laying on the bench, overhead barbell triceps. It's too hard to hold my arm up now. Okay. We used a 10-pound medicine ball and throwing it on the ground. So medicine ball throws, what are they called? Those big balls. Throw them on the ground, you like smash them on the ground. 15 of those, 15 burpees, but we did modified burpees. Put our hands on the stair stepper, but then had to jump out, then jump back, and then stand up. We didn't do the jump at the end of the burpees. And then 20 barbell lunges. Do that, I'll check the time. I think my first one was like 6 minutes and 10 seconds the first one, or 20 seconds. No, I think it was 6 minutes and 10 seconds the first one. And then you're supposed to get better and get faster. I didn't. I got a little bit worse each time. I like did 6:20, 6:30, and then 6:50 for the last one. But I was like dying. Those push-ups and the burpees just kill me. Yeah, those are hard. So if you're looking for a good workout, you can always do that, and we can suffer together. I did it! I finished my book. Yay! I finished 2 books from my mystery thriller horror shelf for this week of 1 week, 1 shelf, which feels pretty darn good. So yeah, go me, I did it. And I have just enough time today, aside from having to edit my vlog from yesterday, and I really have other things I should be doing today, but I'm so tired after working out. Like that was such a hard workout that I'm like, I just want to lay down. So we'll see what I actually get accomplished today, but I do need to start working on my vlog from day 20. And I need to be working on Party for Your World. So this is what I'll be picking up next today, and hopefully I can make a nice little dent in that. Where am I currently at? Page 66. We are having sprints for Bookstar this Saturday. So even though tomorrow I do have to pick up a new book off of a new shelf, starting a new shelf, I will be able to read some of this on Saturday when we do our sprints. So my plan is to get this done. Well, I have to get it done by next Friday, because next Friday is when we're having our live show. But I think I can do it. It didn't take me that long to get to page 66 on this. And it's a romance. Some romances typically read pretty quickly. Oh, I did decide what I'm gonna do for my dessert. There is a recipe in here for molasses crackles, which are these cookies that I was like, I really want to make those, and I think I probably have all the ingredients for it. I'll double check. As far as HRCYED, this works for my series Staircase, because I decided this is going to be one of my 4 more books in a series, and I think that's perfect because these are quick and easy. So reading 4 of these books is not going to be hard for me this year. And then it also works for the readathon challenge, because I do have one prompt where the picnic prompt, where I have to read a book that has recipes in it. So this is perfect. It's gonna help me try and get that readathon challenge finished, and that's it. Oh, should I tell you what I think about it? I don't know what my rating is yet. I don't know if I would give this a 3.5 or a 3.75. I did enjoy it. It was a lot of fun, and it gave me what I was hoping for at the time that I picked it. Let me tell you about the good things before I talk a little bit about the things that, you know, aren't so great when it comes to this book and this series in general, this writer. I do like how quick and easy it is to read these. It's fun, it gives you a vibe, and that's definitely what you're looking for when it comes to cozy mysteries. At least that's what I'm looking for when it comes to cozy mysteries. You've got this baker who has this successful business, and it does make you kind of, well, it makes me kind of feel like, gosh, I just want to own my own little business, my own little shop in a small town. Like, it does give me those vibes, and so that feels good. And then you have this amateur sleuth, and it's always fun to, I think, see things through an amateur sleuth's eyes. I don't know, there's something cozy about that for some reason versus like reading from a detective or reading from somebody who's not an amateur sleuth. I also have a fun time with the mystery, even though everything is very formulaic and it doesn't surprise me or knock me off my feet. I still enjoy the little bit of mystery that we get in this. Now, as far as like the things that aren't great about this, there are times when I'm reading this that I'm happy to put it down. The pace of it at times slows down because there's certain sections of this where I get a little bored at times. Not hugely bored, but it's not the highest of stakes. And then, of course, this is written in 2001. So we're looking at a time period towards the end of the 90s that was still pretty problematic. There are little sections in this that are fairly problematic. There's a bit of fat phobia. It's not so huge that I'm like, oh, I can't read this, because I've certainly read books like that. And I have to look at when it was written and understand that there were a lot of issues with our society at that time, and there still are, but that was coming out in books like this. I was getting out of high school during that time. I know what life was like at that time and how being plus size was viewed. There are a couple of little sections where she's talking about like, well, we got to be politically correct now, and that certainly was a time in history when we were using that terminology and people were pushing back on this extreme political correctness. I certainly have had relatives who are like, oh, we got to be so politically correct all the time. And it's like, you know what? You just got to be thoughtful and not be a jerk. And nowadays it's not any different. We just call it woke. So that's the only difference. Political correctness equals woke. It's just a different wording for the same thing. And people are going to have thoughts and opinions about that. And during 2001, I would say that was definitely something that was becoming important and people were struggling with it. So there were a couple of things in here where I was like, well, that's not politically correct. And I'm not saying that's okay. I'm just saying that when I read books like this, I do look at when it was written, and I have to decide for myself whether or not I feel comfortable reading what I'm reading and if I want to continue on in something like this. And I just don't feel like this is difficult enough for me to read that I don't want to continue on with the series. So I'm going to continue on, because even though this isn't necessarily a 4 or 5 star series, I don't necessarily need that all the time. Sometimes I just need something fun to sit down with, takes my brain off things, takes my focus off of the things in my life that get stressful at times, and can be an easy little mystery that I might actually be able to solve. And that's fun. I like to be able to feel like I can solve these mysteries myself. I enjoyed this, probably a 3.5 or 3.75. I think I gave the first one a 3.75, and I actually really liked the 1.5, the little short story. So maybe I'd like these books even better if they were all novellas. I don't know. I did enjoy that Christmas novella. I thought it was really cute. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where we were, where I left off the last time I read this. I read the page before this, and we're basically at this point where they have had their little one night tryst. She can't stop thinking about him, and she's got so much stress and so many things going on in her life that she decides she wants to go find him for a little bit more fun. He's super excited about that, and he's happy that she's come back because he really felt a connection to her. She showed up at his place, and we're gonna see where everything goes from there. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. I'm about, what is that? 102 pages in. And I've been having kind of a hard time getting a grasp of this book. And I think the reason for that is because this relationship, this connection that's building between these two started so abruptly in the beginning of the story. We don't really get a view into that. At least, you know, we're not seeing any smut. I don't know if Abby Jimenez just doesn't do smut, if it's a very closed door sort of thing. I was speculating in the Bookstara section because somebody mentioned that. Maybe because we jump right into the sex right away. Our author doesn't want it to be kind of cringe since we don't really know these characters yet. And so maybe we build up to more smutty scenes later on. And that is included because you're not getting to see any of that within this relationship that's building between the two of them. So you get like, oh, there's tension and we have so much chemistry and all that stuff. And then they wake up the next day. It's not even like a fade to black sort of situation. I feel like you're just not really getting much build up. And for romance, there is certainly that tension that I enjoy in romances. I know that may not be true for everybody, but I feel like even when you have a fade to black situation, I've definitely read several YAs where it fades to black and that's great. Yet the tension, the chemistry is so strong between the two characters that you're just like, wow, that's so good. And it makes you feel emotions and makes you feel feelings. And that's important when you're trying to enjoy a romantic story because it's about the two characters that are involved. And so not that I'm not enjoying it so far, I've just been having kind of a hard time grasping what am I going to expect from this book? What am I looking for in this book? And I don't know. We have our two characters. She's this doctor who's really going through, I don't want to say divorce because she's not married, but she's been in this long-term relationship with this horrible man who has been manipulating her for a long time by making her feel awful about herself. Unfortunately, I've kind of dated someone like that before, and luckily it didn't get to the extent that we weren't together that long. So I became wise to it early on, but it's bringing up this is what it would be like if I had stayed with a person for a long time like that. And that's bringing up not comfortable feelings. And so I really hate her ex, but she and her ex bought a house together and he's determined to stay in the house. So right now we're dealing with him being like, oh no, I'm going to live here whether you like it or not. So you can move. And it just awful. He's an awful person. I want to punch him. So I like that. I don't like that, but I like when I feel strong emotions about a story. It means that I'm starting to build an interest. As far as our main male character, he's very sweet. He's a cinnamon roll, and I almost feel like he's too sweet for her. Not saying that she couldn't possibly become someone that would be what he deserves. And I'm going to explain this, and it's going to sound weird at first, because she's a woman who is strong and independent, and she deserves whatever she deserves. But I don't feel like when you're still dealing with a relationship that was really hard and you have a lot of recovering to do from that, and you still are going through the motions and you're still dealing with some of the trauma and you're still dealing with all that stuff, I don't think that you're as open to a healthy relationship with somebody else. And I think a lot of people tend to jump into new relationships because they don't want to be alone, and that's something people do, and that's okay. I just don't necessarily think then you're going to be completely open for that other person when you're still going through stuff with your ex. She's still going through stuff with her ex. And so as much as I might end up liking her as a character, it's hard to get behind her with this sweet cinnamon roll guy, because it's no, you don't really deserve him at the moment. And I don't mean that in the sense that she doesn't deserve the best. I mean that in the sense that he deserves someone who is emotionally available. And so that's, at least from what I've seen, I don't know too much about his background, his history, more about him. I just know what's going on with her. And it's not a favorite thing of mine in romances when somebody breaks up with somebody else and then jumps into a new relationship. And she's not trying to jump into a new relationship. Granted, Cinnamon Roll Guy is falling way quickly for her, and he wants her to be a bigger part of his life, and she's like, no, this is just us having fun together. I get that she's not trying to push this, but she also sees the kind of chemistry they have and the connection that they have, and I would think then you'd be like, maybe you're not the right person to be having friends with benefits sort of thing with, because it's going to develop. So that's just when I'm like, then stay away from this nice guy. Just stay away. Go deal with your stuff. Go to therapy. Take care of the stuff. And she's going to therapy. She's doing the things she needs to do, but she's not ready yet. It just makes me a little hesitant. What exactly is going to happen here? What more are we going to learn about these characters? How is she going to fit into his life? How is he going to fit into her life? He comes from this little teeny small town where they all take care of each other. There's very few people there, and it's all touristy, and he wears many different hats. And she's an ER doctor at this hospital where her family, there's this family legacy of her family being at this hospital for generations after generations after generations. So like she has a lot to live up to, and she's incredibly wealthy and he's not. Not only are they emotionally at different points of their life, but they are at different points in their life from like a lifestyle perspective. And that's not impossible. Just I'm thinking of all these things that are weighed against them at this moment. And so I'm just doing a lot of thinking. I'm doing a lot of thinking because I just don't know quite yet how I feel about this, but I'm enjoying the reading process of it, and it's going very quickly. I just don't know how much I like this relationship as a story. Mom came home, I took Dot home, and I've just been relaxing and reading. I actually spent a lot of time today working on my TBR because we're coming up on that, and I'm doing Season-A-thon Academy in September, so I've been trying to figure out what books will work for that, what books will work for HRCYED. I got a lot of things to figure out, and I'm not taking into account TBR Trail right now because I want to put out my TBR video before the end of the month, and TBR Trail doesn't happen until the 31st. So I'm like, whatever comes up for TBR Trail is going to have to work for what I'm doing, what I'm already planning on reading in the month. So it feels good to be working on that, and I spent a lot of time working on that and trying to figure out what books I am going to try and read in September. It's going to be a interesting collection because they're all quite different. But since I was kind of working on that all afternoon, and then I was reading, and then I was just wanted to lay here on the couch because I'm just feeling so worn out. I'm just tired. I did not feel like editing my day 20 vlog. So I'm going to combine yesterday's vlog with today, then I will put that out. So if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up and subscribe so you can see what happens. Tomorrow I start a new week. I'm excited to see what shelf I end up on this week. It's going to be random again, and I really need to find a family history book. That's going to be my priority from whatever shelf I end up pulling from. Fingers crossed it's a shelf where I've got plenty of options. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later. Good night.